Okay, Algebra 2, we are doing rational expressions again, but today we are adding and subtracting. So like this one's a subtraction one, this one's an addition one. The thing to note here is that when we're doing adding and subtracting that we have to find a common denominator. Denominator. And that is really kind of the pain in the butt part. When we were multiplying and dividing yesterday, that was a little bit easier because we didn't have to do that. We just could just cross out stuff. But here we have to find a common denominator. So like jumping right into number 1, these denominators like 8 and 8x, those are like the non-trapped version, okay, like there's no pluses and stuff like there is over here. So I would say that this is when we're adding stuff that's like not trapped together, but there is a minus sign, and the strategy that I think I've told you before is to do plus and then minus 3. That way you don't forget to put that negative with that 3, but we really need to just find what our common denominator would be. So 8 and 8x is going to just be 8x. Because 8 will go into 8x and 8x will go into 8x. So then we have 5 on the top and negative 3 on the top, and we just have to multiply those by what they're missing or what they need. So if I'm going to compare 8 to 8x, we would just need to be multiplied by 8. If we compare 8x to 8x, he doesn't need anything, so we can just cross him off, okay? If I take 5 times x, that's 5x, and then this is just minus 3. Now, I can't combine the 5x and the minus 3, so I'm just going to put 5x minus 3 when I put them all together under one roof, and 8x will go on the bottom, and that is all I can do to simplify, okay? So that was our first adding, I guess subtracting, where we have to find a common denominator. Okay, we're going to do, if I didn't tell you, we're going to do 1 through 6 together. And then the back side of this sheet has 8 problems. Those are what you'll do for homework. So number 2, this one is trapped. And the first thing that you want to do when you have trapped like denominators, 4x plus 12 and x plus 3, is to break them down as small as you can get them. So like this, I can see that that's a greatest common factor. So I'm going to pull 4 out. So I have 4 and x plus 3. And then this guy is just x plus 3. Like there's nothing that he can be simplified. So when I'm looking for my common denominator, I know that I need to include a 4. I know that he needs to have an x plus 3 there because of this guy. And I know I need an x plus 3, but I don't need a second one. So like this fits into there and this fits into there, okay? And that's really what I'm looking for a common denominator, okay? Let me erase my bubbles again now. Ah, too big. There we go. Okay. All right. So 4 and x plus 3 and 4 and x plus 3. I'm going to put those like that. And then I have 2 up here and 7 up here. I'm adding. Now I just need to figure out what he needs to be multiplied by. So comparing 4 times x plus 3 and 4 times x plus 3, this 2 really doesn't need multiplied by anything. So I'm going to cross him off. This x plus 3 compared to this 4 times x plus 3, he needs multiplied by 4. So 7 times 4 is 28, and then I have 2 over here. I can add 2 and 28 together because there's no x's behind them at all or anything. So when I do that, I get 30 over 4 and x plus 3. Now, if you get that as an answer and you circle it, I'll probably say that's okay. But technically, the 30 and the 4 can divide by 2. So that will become 15 and 2. And your final answer will look like this. I'm going to say that if you get to that point and you forget to divide, I'll probably not take off points for it, okay? So there's that. All right, this next one is a minus. We're going to subtract. So I'm going to do plus and then minus 4 instead. And I need to find what my common denominator is. So here's the tricky part. X plus 2 is one chunk, and x minus 5 is another chunk. And really, my common denominator is going to be x plus 2 times x minus 5. Like, there's nothing else that I can do. They don't have anything in common. Really, this x is not the same as that x because they're trapped. So I can't just say I need one x. And then we have that going on. So I've got 7 up here and negative 4 up here, and we got to multiply by what they're missing, okay? So if I compare this one, if I'm going too fast, you guys can pause if you need to. When I'm comparing this x plus 2 and this bottom part right here, I have an x minus 5 is what he is missing, okay? And if I compare this x minus 5 to this bottom, he's missing an x plus 2. So now, all right, now's the tricky part, and I need a new color. I've got to multiply the 7 through. So that becomes 7x minus 35, if I do that. And then if I distribute the 4 through, that's minus 4x minus 8, okay? And then the very last step is that I want to combine like terms with those 4. So like 7x minus 4x, that becomes 3x. And negative 35 and negative 8 becomes negative 43, I think. And then my denominator is just going to be x plus 2 times x minus 5. And that is all that I can do. By the way, I forgot to mention this, that there was a point in time where we crossed these bottoms off. And you don't want to do that for these problems, because that was when we had like an equal sign. So we had it equal to something over here, and then we were able to cross the bottoms off. There's no equal to sign. We are just adding these together. We're not actually solving for x. So here you're just putting stuff together, combining like terms, doing that thing, find a common denominator, but your denominator does not cancel like it would if there was an equal sign. So just keep that in mind, okay? All right, number 4, let's do this. We have y minus 5. He does not break down, so I'm just going to recopy him over here. But this is a simple trinomial, so I have y plus 5. Did I say minus 5? Y plus 5 and y plus 2 are my two pieces, okay? So common denominator is what I'm looking for, okay? And I know that I need a y plus 5, so I'm going to put him down. Okay, I know that I need a y plus 5, but I don't need a second one. And then I need a y plus 2 for my bottom. So I think that's going to do it. Y plus 5 and y plus 2. Okay, 2. Okay, then I've got a 3 and a y here. And I have to multiply by what they need. So, parentheses, comparing y plus 5 to this stuff, he needs a y plus 2. Comparing this one to this one, he doesn't need anything, so I'm just going to cross him off. You could put 1 in that blank if you wanted to, but you don't have to. You can just cross it off. 3 times y and 3 times 2 is 3y plus 6. And then I just have a positive y over here, and I'm going to combine those things. So 3y and y makes 4y plus 6. And then my bottom is just y plus 5 and y plus 2. So there you go. Hopefully this is kind of good review. We've had this stuff before, so hopefully I'm not going too fast. But if I am, feel free to, stop or back up or whatever you need to do, okay? All right, another addition. Our bottom numbers are 4x and 2x, and I am going to look just at the numbers. If I look at the numbers, this is like finding the least common multiple, right? By the way, finding a common denominator is like finding the LCM. So the least common multiple of 4 and 2 is 4, because 4 goes into 4 and 2 goes into 4, and then I need an x. So 4x, right? 4x will go into 4x, and 2x will go into 4x. So I know that that will work for my least common multiple. Okay. All right. Now 5 is here. 5 is here. 3 is here. And we have to multiply by what they're missing. Okay. So comparing 4x to 4x, he's not missing anything. So I'm going to cross that off. 2x in comparison to 4x, he will need to be multiplied by 2. All right. So now I have 5 here. He's just chilling. Plus, and then 3 and 2 makes 6. And I can combine those together to make 11, and then my bottom is 4x. So there we go. Okay, that was another non-trapped one. All right, and then let's see, number 6, last one. I'm going to change this minus to a plus, and I'm going to put the minus up there with the 1 so I don't forget. And I need to find what my common denominator is. So I need an x minus 3, and I need an x plus 7. So it's just going to be the combination of the two together. X minus 3 and x plus 7. Okay, and then I have 2 and negative 1. And this guy needs and this guy needs. So I'm going to start comparing. This x, he has an x minus 3, but he needs an x plus 7. This guy has an x plus 7, and he needs an x minus 3. And now I've got to go through and I've got to multiply. So 2 times x is 2x, and 2 times 7 is 14. Then I've got negative 1 times x is negative 1x, and negative 1 times negative 3 is plus 3. Okay, now I've got to combine. So 2x minus 1x is 1x, or just x. I don't need the 1 in the front. And then 14 and 3 is 17. And that's my top, and my bottom is just those two pieces. X minus 3 and x plus 7. And there we go. That is all. Okay, so there's the notes, or the front side, or the problems that we're going to do together. You try to get through 1 through 8. Remember that you need to break any of the trapped ones down first before you start comparing what your common denominator will be. Okay, so remember to factor denominators. Okay, and that is all that I have for you.